So we heard earlier from Richard Lawrence of IREC about the apprenticeship requirements in the Inflation Reduction Act and how this high quality training pathway can serve veterans and other workers. The U.S. Department of Labor's Office of Apprenticeship is responsible for overseeing the quality and compliance of registered apprenticeships throughout the United States. We are extremely fortunate. Don't ever think IREC can't, bring in the best. Extremely fortunate to have Sasha Cooper-Morrison, Business Engagement Team Lead and Manager with the Department of Labor's Office of Apprenticeship, here with us today to share some information about apprenticeships and how DOL is supporting scaling up of these opportunities for clean energy workers. Sasha?
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to be with you here today and have the opportunity to talk about some of the work that we're doing at the Department of Labor to expand clean energy registered apprenticeship programs. Sounds like Richard delivered a good part of my presentation, so this is it. I'm going to step off. No, I'm kidding. But yes, so I'll jump right into it. Just want to take a couple minutes to visit with you all today to talk about how we're looking to partner with all of you here in the room. So as you all know, there have been two key pieces of legislation that have passed recently that particularly prioritize registered apprenticeships in the infrastructure and clean energy sectors. So of course, the bipartisan infrastructure law over the summer, and then now, as you all have been discussing, the Inflation Reduction Act, which includes some of the strongest labor protections and incentives, including registered apprenticeship, ever attached to clean energy tax credit programs. So as you all may have heard, registered apprenticeship and pathways that lead people into apprenticeship will help ensure that the next cohort of skilled workers being trained as these projects are being developed have good jobs with career pathways, strong wages, and worker protections. And so registered apprenticeship really is a key tool for that. And we also believe that registered apprenticeship provides an opportunity to make good jobs more accessible to populations that have been underrepresented in the clean energy workforce, including women, people of color, people with disabilities, and others. And so we really do have an historic opportunity to address these inequities, and we have to take steps now to ensure that everyone has access to these high-quality, well-paying, good jobs. And so just a quick, very brief, high-level overview about registered apprenticeships. Sounds like you've been talking about it already. Industry-driven, high-quality career pathway where not only employers can develop and prepare their future workforce, but individuals receive paid work experience, receive progressive wage increases, classroom instruction, and a portable, nationally recognized credential. It's also a work-based learning opportunity that can be instrumental in serving individuals who have been historically underserved, marginalized, and adversely affected by persistent poverty and inequality by allowing apprentices to earn while they learn and providing a pathway to well-paying careers. And so registered apprenticeships are distinguished from other types of workplace training models by several factors. Apprenticeships are jobs from day one, and apprentices earn family-sustaining wages from their employers, allowing them to earn and learn at the same time. They provide structured on-the-job learning and job-related classroom training, some with articulation agreements with 2- and 4-year colleges, including minority-serving institutions. I mentioned the progressive wage increases as apprentices acquire new skills. They're receiving on-the-job learning in the work setting under the direction of a mentor. And last but not least, they receive a portable, nationally recognized credential at the end that can set them on a gainful long-term career path. And we have growing evidence that registered apprenticeship is one of the most effective, if not the most effective, workforce training strategies available. First, the average starting wage after completing a registered apprenticeship program is $77,000. That's way more than I was making when I graduated college. 93% of apprentices retain employment after completing an apprenticeship program, and workers who complete registered apprenticeship programs earn an average of $300,000 more over their lifetime than those when compared to their peers who did not complete a registered apprenticeship program. And we have recent evaluations that show that pre-apprenticeship supportive strategies and other services are effective in promoting greater equity and inclusion in registered apprenticeship. And we have some links to these studies on our website, which I can share with you all so it can be shared after the meeting. So just a little bit about the National Apprenticeship System. It's administered by my office, the Office of Apprenticeship, under the Employment Training Administration at DOL. We have apprenticeship offices and consultants located in every state across the country that can provide hands-on, direct technical assistance at no cost. Roughly half of states have been recognized as state apprenticeship agencies by Office of Apprenticeship, but regardless, we work very closely together and we provide technical assistance and support to program sponsors. We answer questions about the apprenticeship model, help connect partners to develop programs, connect businesses to training providers, and we can also advise regarding available funding sources to support registered apprenticeship programs. And then, so that's a bit about registered apprenticeship overall. And so next, I'd like to go into a bit more detail about some of our current investments and partnerships related to clean energy. So as I noted earlier, there are tremendous opportunities being presented by the range of clean energy and infrastructure investments that will be made in the coming years. As importantly, this is an historic opportunity to address long-standing inequities to ensure everyone has access to these transformative career opportunities. And so we have created, for that reason, we've created a resource page. Well, we have several pages on our website, apprenticeship.gov. We have a clean energy industry page that we have a fact sheet that talks about some of the currently apprenticeable occupations. We have some stats on there and other resources for both employers and other organizations interested in setting up apprenticeship programs. And then we also have a dedicated infrastructure page that has that includes resources related to the other infrastructure industries, telecommunications, again, clean energy, all available at apprenticeship.gov. And so we do feel that the growth is going to impact existing programs and occupations. So we feel, at this point, we feel that most of the growth in registered apprenticeships that are derived from these investments will occur in existing occupations, for example, electricians, plumbers, insulators, others. So you all may probably know construction is by far the largest industry utilizing registered apprenticeship, and 9 out of 10 of the top occupations are traditional construction-related occupations. Now, with that being said, we know that there are currently there are a number of occupations that are currently in demand by employers in the area of clean energy. But we anticipate that there will be some new occupations that will be in demand and that employers will be reaching out to staff at the Office of Apprenticeship, also across state apprenticeship agencies, to create these. And so with that being said, there may not be a whole bunch of new occupations that are created, but we anticipate that existing occupations will embed energy-related construction and skills into their work process schedules. Now, with that in mind, we'll definitely need industry's input into this process, and we'll really look to the industry to help us define how to move forward, including as it relates to any new occupations resulting from the increased demand for clean energy registered apprenticeships. And I've been in some recent meetings with some of the folks in the room about exactly how we can strategize and make sure that we are meeting the demands of industry to do just that. And so as this process evolves, there are two key areas where we are taking active steps to support both the bipartisan infrastructure law and the IRA implementation, and that is in the area of investments and partnerships. So we recently invested in a number of critical areas, including state capacity. And what does that mean? We've invested in our state partners to ensure that they have the capacity to support their growing RA systems. States, including Colorado, Texas, and Illinois, are focused on these industries and related occupations. Next, in the area of equity and pre-apprenticeship, in our recent ABA grant award, we have invested in organizations like Chicago Women in Trades to ensure that women have access to high-quality pre-apprenticeship that can lead to placement in registered apprenticeship. And then also, last but not least, in the area of apprenticeship hubs. And so we're investing in organizations like the Electrical Training Alliance and, Adaptive Constructive Solutions that can really help us support the expansion of registered apprenticeship to support these industries and achieve that scale that we're looking to achieve as directed under this legislation. And we have more information about these investments on our website as well. And again, I'll share that link. So next, we have also funded intermediaries. And so it's a wide range of industry intermediaries that are charged with providing technical assistance and other support to promote and expand registered apprenticeship programs across the country. One of these partners is NABTU, North America's Building Trades Unions, which is engaged in various clean energy activities that target underrepresented populations, including veterans and people of color. So next, in the area of partnerships, in addition to the funded partners that I just mentioned, we're currently working with a number of federal agencies in support of these pieces of legislation, implementing these pieces of legislation, I should say, including expanding those related to clean energy. For example, we're in conversations with the Department of Energy in the area of workforce engagement. So we're working with them and industry leaders on ongoing discussions related to the implementation of the BIL, now the IRA, as a patient. We're working with them to implement had been working with them to implement the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which included $7.5 billion for electronic vehicle charging stations to aid in that effort, which is led by DOT and includes $5 billion over 5 years to install these chargers mostly along interstate highways. And registered apprenticeship is an important element of those EV installer workforce plans. And then next, we're working with the Department of Commerce on broadband, but also on infrastructure and clean energy related projects. And we're also partnering with them closely along the Good Jobs Challenge. And so I mentioned this throughout, but I can't emphasize enough the importance that diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility plays in all of the work that we do in all industries, not just clean energy, but we really do believe that registered apprenticeship and pathways that lead to apprenticeship, such as pre-apprenticeship, will help ensure that everyone, including women, people of color, veterans, and so many more that have been historically underserved, have access and opportunities to succeed in these life-changing opportunities. So before I close, since I'm the business engagement team lead, I want to make a plug for National Apprenticeship Week, which you may know is coming up from November. It runs from November 14th to the 20th. And it's a nationwide celebration where partners across organizations across the whole apprenticeship ecosystem celebrate the successes and an impact really that registered apprenticeship has had to transform the lives of individuals, but also the importance of registered apprenticeship as a workforce development strategy has played. And so as of now, we're up to over 500 events. And so these are events from from industry, government, equity, community-based organizations, post-secondary institutions, K through 12 institutions, but there's so many events that we've seen registered from organizations to highlight the value of registered apprenticeship. And so I would just encourage everybody or all of those in this room to either plan and host an event, or attend an event in your area. I keep mentioning our website, apprenticeship.gov. It really is a one-stop source for all things apprenticeship. We have resources on the website, and the NAW website is www.apprenticeship.gov/National Apprenticeship Week. We have a planning toolkit. We have a promotional toolkit. This year we have an interactive map so you can see what's happening in your area and get involved. And so we have a goal of 1,000 events that we're hoping to that we know that we will surpass. I'll say that. We know that we'll surpass that this year, but we can't do it without the participation of folks like you all here in the room to just continue to get the word out about registered apprenticeship. And so yes, I wanted to also mention that. But thank you all again for the opportunity to speak with you today, and we look forward to collaborating with you all to expand clean energy registered apprenticeships. Not sure if we're having Q&A, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Sasha.